Recently, the Equal Employment Opportunities Commissioner from the New Zealand Human Rights Commission posted this image to social media. The Commissioner shows no awareness of how this message might be received by male victims of female abusers. But that's not surprising. The Human Rights Commission see women as worth celebrating and defending, and men as problems who need to change. That's not treating everyone with dignity and respect. In this video, we see Commission staff talking about women being amazing and men being terrible, an open and unashamed display of sexism and prejudice from the Commission.
Hello, everybody. I am Karanina Sumeo. I am the Equal Employment Opportunities Commissioner. We are here to serve the interests of Aotearoa, so it's really important that you know what we're doing. Talofa tēnā koutou and happy International Women's Day, everybody. I hope you're taking the time to stop and appreciate the awesome women around you. Please take the time to celebrate our women. If you're a woman, claim it, own it, and have some fun. So International Women's Day, I mean, every day should be Women's Day, right? But this is just a day that it's celebrated around the world.
Saunoamaali'i, can I ask you to address firstly our women listening and watching online this morning, and then secondly a message to men that are finding themselves, under this great increased stress, pressure as a result of COVID-19 lockdown. Whaamolemole.
Yeah. So our message to our women that you are precious, you are important, and you have a significant part to play. You are so important and so precious to all of us. Please, if you're in a dangerous situation, call for help. There's no shame in calling for help. We need you alive, and your children need you alive, and we all need you alive. So please call for help. To our men, this is not the time to be selfish. This is not the time to be selfish. Step up. Take responsibility. You're not the only one stressed. Our women are stressed too. Please call out to those lines I gave before. And please be the men that your children, that your family, and we expect you to be. You are leaders. You are strong. You can get through this. But please do not harm those who love you and depend on you right now in your homes.
Happy Human Rights Day. And today is also the 16th day and the final day of activism towards prevention and elimination of violence against women. So we're going to leave you on the 16th day with messages from some of the men here at the Human Rights Commission. And we're targeting our brothers and our mates and our friends. And it's a message for you. Take care.
Kia ora. We need to support the elimination of gender-based violence. Stand up for our mothers, our daughters, and our sisters. Kia kaha.
I'm calling on all men to uplift, empower, listen to, and respect the woman in their lives and the woman around them.
Kia ora tātou. There's so many stories now of violence against women committed by men, and it's just not good enough. So we need to call it out. We need to call it when we see our friends doing it, our mates doing it, our colleagues doing it. Enough is enough.
No violence, no threats, no abuse. And no gaslighting.
I'm asking that all of you talk to each other, talk to your loved ones, seek the support and help that you need to avoid harming those you love.
Let's work together to be the kind of men that these women deserve.
Remember that gender equality starts at home and how we raise our girls and how they establish their sense of self-worth. As I said, it starts from home, right? I said to my son the other day, why don't you set up a march, you and your friends? You go and march in town to stop violence against women. So I want our men, our boys, to be marching the streets and talking to their brothers about ending this.
Kia ora, Jo Ennis from Graduate Women. Thank you very much. Fantastic panel. What part do you see men have to play in achieving justice here in Aotearoa?
So I like to refer to our brothers because that somehow brings them closer. And it's not a me, it's not an us and them. And so I've been very fortunate in the time of being commissioner that I've had the support of a few brothers who understand their power, understand their influence, are very well connected, and have used that to help, have called in specialists that the Human Rights Commission will never be able to afford with its budget, but they use their own budget and fly in specialists from overseas. That's the sort of thing that would help, because the majority of those places of power, holders of power, are of course our brothers. So we want them to do their bit. And, we also have to keep in mind that not all our brothers are equal, right? Again, if we talk about the Pacific pay gap, Pacific men are certainly not earning the same as our Pākehā brothers or our Māori brothers. Yeah, they're disadvantaged too. So we have to keep that in mind. But I do think every opportunity you can, to our brothers to step up. Don't be a bystander. Do not be a bystander. Recognize your privilege and your power, and you have a voice. Please speak up. We need you to.
Women need to have the power. Women don't want war, they want peace. Women don't want more children, they want more for the children that they actually have. And you put women in charge, and I tell you, we'll have world peace and we'll have happy families and communities.
Why do you put it in the terms that domestic violence is a human rights issue?
Gender equality, when women are valued the same, will never happen while we have family violence, but often it is a power and control issue where women's role in society and how they are perceived is at the heart of it all.
When I was down in Burnham, and I also had another patron, I was the patron of the Limited Service Volunteer Force down there, and I asked the padre, what do you think it is that we have this blind spot about violence towards women and girls? It's not just in the army, right? And he said to me, he was a Brit, he said, well, class is Britain's problem, race is America's problem, but gender is New Zealand's. And he said to me, you know that, David, because you know how the conversation changes when women leave the room in New Zealand. And, that reality that if they're going to change this sort of culture, it's up to men and boys to change their attitude towards girls and women. But we can do our bit with our children in our schools. We can do our bit if we're men and boys by respecting women and girls in a way we don't. I mean, when that padre said to me, David, you know this because you know what happens to the conversation when women leave the room, I knew exactly what he was saying. Exactly what he was saying.
I think that the one issue that worries me and I'm a parent, are some aspects of celebrity culture and music objectifying women, making young men and boys treat and think of women as things. But I just wonder if some of that really misogynistic language is affecting these young people. And I mean, we have to get young boys and men to respect the dignity of girls and women.
Because it's the male-dominant male culture, MPs are chosen on the basis of what merits they have, and that's usually a male definition of what skill set you need to be a great MP, a great debater, put people down in the House, that person, whatever. So skills that women have naturally, working behind the scenes, negotiating, that type of thing, don't get a look in. And so why would you bother? Women are powerful. We're half the world's population, actually 51% of the world's population, and we're part of the solution, not part of the problem. And we need to bring women through, empower our young girls, empower our women. And I tell you, countries, societies will prosper. And with women in charge, equally in charge, we would have world peace. Women do not want war, they want peace. We need women at our front lines negotiating peace settlements, not a bunch of men. We don't believe in quotas. We choose on merit. I mean, there aren't enough good women out there. Well, who defines what merit is? It's usually the boys define what merit is, and it's boys choosing boys, and that's this closed loop going around talking to each other how fantastic they are. Well, at the moment, we have 18 weeks of paid parental leave.
We're not at 6 months. That's obviously the ideal, and I'm sure that will come in time. What we would like to see at the Commission is that men have their own parental leave of their own. At the moment, it can be shared between the primary caregiver and the partner, but there's no separate entitlement for men. Men need to step up in their caring responsibilities, and I think that's a crucial part that needs to happen.
We all want the very best for we want our children to be safe, just like we want our women to be safe. We don't want them to suffer violence and sexual violence and all that.
So what are your hopes for Pacific peoples in Aotearoa?
Yeah, I want our people to live lives that are free from hardship, free from poverty. I just want basic things that they feel like they've been treated equally and they experience that in the workplace. I want no violence against our women at all, no violence against our children. And I say that's mostly in our control, not the control of the outside world.
For some more context, here is the Commission talking and advocating for some other groups.
Kia ora. I'm Paul Hunt, the Chief Human Rights Commissioner. So please show your support for our brilliant rainbow communities. Demonstrate kindness, acceptance, validation, affirmation. These are things we all need.
Since then, I've had an invite from one of the girls to come and talk with her about the human rights issues that she thinks we should understand from the perspective of a young person. So we really value that invite and we're going to follow up with her. A little bit of a heads up, this weekend I'm going to head up to Whangarei to attend the Rural Women's Conference up there. So I'm basically there to listen and to understand what the issues are for our rural women so we can add our voice and our advocacy to progress their interests also. And they told us about their struggle to get back into the workforce. They've obviously got skills, but they feel they've been discriminated because of their age. So these are the sort of issues that we'd like to hear about and to be a voice for you.
Kia ora tātou, talofa lava, Tane here from Saunoamaali'i's team at the Human Rights Commission. Today is the 17th of May, and around the world it's acknowledged as the International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, Transphobia and Intersex Discrimination. What the Commission has learned from listening to individuals is that discrimination and violence is still prevalent in Aotearoa based on someone's actual or perceived sexual orientation, gender identity and sex characteristics. There are 4 flags flying outside Parliament on the forecourt today to raise awareness of the issues that our rainbow whānau still face. What can you do if you witness these behaviours? Call it out, centre and support the person that the behaviour was directed at, record the incident if possible, and report it. We call on all New Zealanders to stand up against homophobia, biphobia, transphobia and intersex discrimination and support all of our rainbow whānau. Mauri ora, mauri tangata.